The ability to find joy, even in the smallest moments, it's a skill. And it's about mindset. And it is a skill that human beings have been demonstrating for years, centuries. It's how we get through really hard times. It's how we get through really difficult times. And you've got to develop that mindset, and you've got to realize that regardless of the circumstances, that's our job. Because that's how you live a happy, joyous, fulfilled life. It's not just waiting for the big moments when you hit the lottery, hit the jackpot, win the big game, get the person you want to date. Like, it's not just about that. It's about going through life and finding those moments of joy even amongst the most challenging and difficult experiences. And I had something happen the other day on social media, and it reminded me how important this mindset thing is. And it reminded me how important it is to never give up looking. And I want to share it today. So welcome back to the Aha Moments, where every day I share the lessons I've learned in my work as a psychotherapist and in my life to inspire you to live your very best life. Of course, I'm your host, Elliott Connie. So just like everybody else, on my personal Facebook page, I just post stuff, thoughts going through my head and whatever. And in the African American community, we have a saying, and I decided to post this saying. No real reason why. It was on my mind, so I posted it. And the saying is, God is good. Very simple 3-word saying, God is good. And in our community, when you say that to a Black person, they know to respond by saying all the time. And then the person who said God is good now says, I'll say God is good, the person will say all the time, and I'll say and all the time, and they'll say God is good. Like, that's the phrasing. So I put that on social media, God is good. And a bunch of people in my comments said all the time, because that's the thing. And a friend of mine who's not Black, he's an older white man, his name is Peter. Peter responded by saying, I guess he's taking a decade off in Gaza or, with the conflict over there. And I thought about that for a long time. And I wanted to reply to him and be like, man, you're missing the point. I know that there have been horrible atrocities going on currently in the conflict over there. But I also know there have been horrible atrocities going on forever. And I know that one of the ways that human beings have survived and gotten through these horrible times and having the ability to find joy even amongst difficult times. One of my favorite movies is called Glory. And in that movie, Glory, if you don't know, is about the first African-American military battalion. They were in the Civil War, the 54th Massachusetts, and they had slaves volunteer to be in this group in the military. And I can't think of anything. I mean, if you talk about God taking a 10-year break, that was a 400-year break. That was a long break. If you want to talk about it, only under good circumstances can we recognize small moments of joy. But amongst this, there was a scene in the movie where the colonel, a guy named Robert Gould Shaw, you can Google him, and he wrote letters to his family when he was leading the 54th Massachusetts, and they narrated these letters through the movie, the actual letters. They're actually on display in a museum in Massachusetts. But anyway, he wrote about how he couldn't believe how hard these former slaves, now soldiers, worked during the day, and how at night when you walked through the camp, they were smiling and laughing. And he said they must have learned that through days, hours, weeks, months, and years of inhumane labor. Because the lesson there is, regardless of how difficult something is, you can still find reasons to smile. And in fact, you must. That is the skill you have to develop. Like, you can't just be happy when everything is going well, because life doesn't really work that way. The thing that I would leave people with is I want people to always know that life always has two parallel stories. You are simultaneously having challenges happen, and you're simultaneously having good things happen. And happy, well-balanced people just do a better job of finding the good things. Sometimes they're harder to find. I will absolutely admit that. But life is always a little bit of both. There are good things and bad things that happen in all of our lives every single day, simultaneously. You're never going to have a day of all good, and you're also never going to have a day of all bad. And we need to be able to train our brains to notice the small things in life. So I want you to do the exercise of just really paying attention to the smaller things and being gracious for them. I wake up every single day thankful that God has blessed me with another day. I'm 48 years old, and I'm aware now that every single day is a gift. I don't have to have made it to this age. And I'm so grateful that I did. And that starts my mind at collecting small things of joy, small moments of joy, and help me build a healthy life. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind doing me a super huge favor, I would love it if you would share this podcast with at least one person in your life that you think could benefit from hearing this message today. And also don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen to your podcast. And also follow me on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. You can search for my name, Elliott Connie, or at Elliott Speaks. That's my handle across all platforms. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.